Yeah, you tuned into the right place. Welcome to the rain. Golden Queuing. H2.0. Yeah. You're looking for a diamond, found a treasure in the rough. Tired of all the noise, cause you finally had enough. I'm here to build a movement on a mission for the nation. Dropping gems of knowledge, killing all the hesitation. We fighting for the truth, yeah, we fighting for what's right. Building unity and shining up a brand new light. It's a variety channel, but the vision's crystal clear. Pushing us all forward, conquering the doubt and fear.
Welcome to the Queendom, it's 2.0 on your screen, where the content's real and smart and funny in between. This is more than just a stream, it's a platform for the change. Time to elevate the game and rearrange. If you're ready for a vibe that you can feel and trust, joining in the movement is a definite must.
This ain't just another channel talking smack behind the screen. It's a spotlight for the creators, building up a better scene. Spreading radical love, that's the message in the code. Helping everybody carry up a heavy load. From social justice issues to the laughter that we need. Planting seeds of progress, watch them grow from just a seed. This is authentic, this is raw, this is everything you saw. Welcome to the battle that is truly being fought.
Ooh, so come with your respect and see the real effect. Cause I protect my own right here on the throne. Don't make me envy. Unleash the dragon.
Subscribe, ring that notification bell. Yeah, you don't wanna miss a thing. Welcome to the family. Yeah.
They fear the truth, cause lies pay the rent.
Truth hit hard, make them lose sleep. 10 toes down, I don't backtrack. Can't mute a voice when the facts clap. Truth tellers, stand up. We don't fold, we don't bend. From the streets to the suits to the fake rich friends. If it's dark, we expose it, do it over again. Facts, say it, run it. They build careers off silence and fear. Shake hands in public, plot in the rear. Paperwork clean, but the blood still fresh. Smile for the cameras, right in the flesh. They say play the game, I say name the crime. I don't wait my turn, I don't toe they line. Truth ain't safe, it don't come with guards. But I'd rather be real than protected by fraud. It blacklist names, bury the brave, then praise them later when it's socially safe. I'm talking right now, put it straight in your face. Every lie exposed is a crack in the case. Blow the whistle, hear the panic when it rings. Truth loud, no filter, no strings. I don't get permission for the things I sing. Truth tellers stand firm. Yeah, we built for the storm. If the lie make money, best believe we transform. Yeah. Red carpets hide dirty deals. Bright lights don't mean everything is healed. Ended days over trauma and pain. Gold chains heavier than the shame. They protect the brand, sacrifice souls. Call it the culture, but we know the code. If you speak too loud, they cut your lane. If you stay quiet, they let you gain. I ain't selling pain back to the youth. I ain't dressing lies up, calling it truth. I'd rather lose fame, lose access than win by silence while the wicked get passes. Boost the fake, suppress what's exposed. They love the trend, hate the truth. If it wake the people, they cut the view. Influence rented, morals for sale. Everybody woke to the sponsors bill. I don't chase likes, I don't chase fame. I drop Truth don't beg. Truth stand 10 toes. Blow the whistle anyway.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Golden. I'm back with another live today. I want to just go ahead and first say happy Valentine's Day to everyone. We are going to be getting into a few heavy hitting topics, but I wanted to just say hello to y'all. It is about 1:53 p.m. here Eastern Time in the Carolinas in the United States, and the weather outside is nice today. It's not too cold, and the sun is shining bright. I hope you guys are having a great day in whatever respectful time zone you're in, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night. But yeah, let me give y'all a brief synopsis of what we'll be talking about, okay? So, like I said, happy Valentine's Day. Before we dive into the heavy hitters, I want to ground us in a message of unity. In a world full of exposure, betrayal, and division, choosing to love one another is the most powerful thing we can do. We seek truth, not to spread hate, but to protect our families and our futures. Today, we have a pretty massive lineup. We're going to deep dive into the Candace Owens Podcast regarding the Macron revelations and the Erika Kirk open letter. Then we're going to head over to Big Boy TV and listen to a little bit of Katt Williams and his bold no apology stance when it comes to exposure of the industry. Most importantly, we'll be looking at the latest verified updates in the Charlie Kirk investigation, from the courtroom drama in Utah to the free speech battle happening with teachers in Texas. So let's go ahead and get into the truth with love as our foundation. So the first topic, y'all, that we'll be listening to is a little bit of Candace Owens, and she's going to be speaking on the revelations that she has found around Macron's alleged boyfriend, which is Erika's girlfriend. Child, it's a mess. It's all over the place. But again, we'll listen to some of this and then we'll talk about what we think about it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to play this audio for y'all, and I'll meet y'all in the chat per usual.
All right, you guys. I've got some news. Emmanuel Macron is gay. Why are you gay, Emmanuel Macron? When I said it, it was a conspiracy. Now these Epstein emails are getting released and people are looking up. And by people, I mean the mainstream media. They're willing to accept that maybe I was telling the truth. He's also married to a dude because he's gay, so that makes sense. But I guess we'll wait for the next email dump before the reliably dishonest press is prepared to admit that part too. What is up with these political unions? I have questions. This brings me to Erika Kirk. Upon further information, I no longer believe that she was with her mother on the morning of September 10th. And I am going to tell you guys why that is. Welcome back to Candace. There are so many directions that we could run into with the Epstein emails, but there's something that popped up that is very interesting to me. The 23andMe emails, the elites sending one another kits. Jeffrey Epstein, I'll show you two of them. First and foremost to Woody Allen. Woody Allen, that entire background story that Hollywood just accepts him is absolutely crazy to me. I'm glad that that is being relitigated. regarding what he did to his own child when she was 7. But allegedly, I'll say allegedly. But look at this email that Jeffrey Epstein authored to Woody. It says, the 23andMe kits arrived and will be delivered to Woody and Soon-Yi to their home today. So I don't know who this actually went to, but he was getting this kit out to Woody Allen. And there's another email, this time to, who is this? They're always blocking out the names, but it says, hi, Sultan, can you please tell me who James Miller is? He is who you have billed the 30 kits to. Also, do I understand the shipping address is Jeffrey's home at 9 East 71st, about 23andMe kits. Do you guys remember that trend, by the way? For some reason, they came out and they told everybody, this is going to be amazing. Don't you want to know where you're from? As if they don't know where we're from. They're the ones that are trafficking people all over the world. We can help you. Just send us your DNA. And a lot of people did it. A lot of my friends did it. It was already like, a little suspect. It's a bit suspicious. I'm not going to do it at all. Well, interestingly enough, that particular project, 23andMe, or that particular business, also began shortly following our invasion into Iraq. I'll tell you why this matters, okay? So we invaded, as I mentioned yesterday, mid-2003, and we extracted Gilgamesh's tomb, roughly 2 years later. Well, in 2005, the now bankrupt company, 23andMe, came together where people began sending in those DNA kits to figure out their ancestry. I want you to park that in your mind as we revisit our military's strange efforts in the Middle East. I mentioned to you guys this man named Rob Skiba yesterday. He wrote a book entitled Babylon Rising. This came to me from an email tip. It was immediately interesting. Well, this man, it is alleged, was actually murdered for some of the research and the pieces that he were putting together because he was perhaps getting too close to the ultimate project of the elites. By the way, his son emailed me yesterday thanking me for bringing up his father and grateful that his father's work is still carrying on. I've not had time to email him back, but I did receive that email and I know that you are watching. And I'm also grateful that the work that your father did is getting new meaning. Anyway, I started watching this speech that his father, Rob Skiba, gave on the topic of his book, Babylon Rising. I explained to you that all of the elites are obsessed with Babylon, and any research that I do, it's all about Babylon, Babylon, Babylon. And I want to share to you some of these clips. It's Rob Skiba, and he's speaking about his book. Now, to tee this up, let's just get into a little bit of the history. He is positing a lot about the Tower of Babel. Obviously, we know this was built up, that this angered God. And Rob Skiba posits that it wasn't actually the height of the tower that was problematic. He believes that, or this is a theory, so don't be offended. Please don't send me emails about, whoa, this is not the teaching, this is not the doctrine. We're trying to not get to what is true or what you believe. We are trying to actually get to what the elites believe. Okay, we actually don't believe we should harm children. So if we're speaking about the elite's belief, you don't have to send me a lecture about what's wrong about it. The entire purpose of this podcast is to tell you that the elites are satanic. Anyway, back to Nimrod building this Tower of Babel. Well, Rob Skiba posits, he's like, I don't think it was because the tower was high. We know that he built this to get back to heaven. He thinks that actually this tower that was being built was a technology because they wanted to get back into the heavenly realm. Now, if you have read Gilgamesh, there is a lot of astrotheology that's in it. Stargates. We know that the elites worship stars. We've covered that extensively. Well, in this particular clip, you're going to see Rob Skiba discuss the Book of Enoch, the one that I mentioned to you, going back to the beginning, the story of fallen angels. And he brings up something that is of geographical interest. Take a listen.
There are extra biblical texts, like the Book of Enoch and others, that go into more detail about what happened in Genesis 6. The Book of Enoch says that 200 fallen angels, a class of angels known as the Watchers, landed in this location right here. This is the center of a mountain range in southern Lebanon known as Mount Hermon. Now keep your eye right there as the camera pulls back and just kind of look at the outline of the topography right there. It's very interesting that it actually forms the shape of a goat. And one of the worst of the fallen angels was one by the name of Azazel. And Azazel is always associated with the goat. You see that in Leviticus chapter 16. The scapegoat is in reference to Azazel. I find it interesting that the land itself actually kind of looks like a goat head rolled upside down with some of his research, and he was able to figure out that location is 33.33 degrees north by 33.33 degrees east from the Paris prime meridian. Very interesting. What's 1/3 of 100? 33.3333%, right? How interesting that the fallen angels that participated in what I call the Genesis 6 experiment landed on the geographical location that fits their number on the crosshairs of 33.33. Something else David Flynn pointed out is that if you put a little marker there, and you can do this for yourself, that what I showed you there was from Google Earth. I did it for myself to check it out. But you can put a marker there and then draw a line from there to the Paris prime meridian. We go by Greenwich today, but originally it was the Paris was kind of the standard for a long time there. And that is, in the occult, is referred to as the devil's line.
So something that is a fact is that the elites are obsessed with goat heads, Baal worship. None of this is a conspiracy. Jeffrey Epstein worked for the Rothschilds. You were looking at a picture of the Rothschilds at their surrealist ball. The more research you do, you just sort of see this appearance over and over again of goat heads. Even if you get into Pan worship, Dionysus, all of these, occult, orgiastic cults that they've had since the...
So we got to talk about some of the things that we've heard so far within this Candace interview. Okay. So this is the proper thing to do. First off, the interview starts off with Candace making very strong allegations that Emmanuel Macron is gay and that he is married to a dude. Now we have to pause for a second. Okay. We must make sure, all right, when we listen to these commentaries, that we understand that these are allegations about sitting world leaders. So the first question is that spicy? Okay. But where are the verified documents? Because screenshots and vibes are not the primary source when it comes to the truth. Then we're now off to the races yet again. So we're talking about Epstein emails. We're talking about 23andMe. We're talking about Iraq. We're talking about Gilgamesh, DNA harvesting, the Tower of Babel, CERN, goat symbolism, and Satan. Now, we know that these things have been spoke about previously before, and they could possibly be all a conspiracy. But here is the technique that is being used. If you connect enough dramatic nouns together, your audience starts to feel like they just saw a pattern. But a pattern is not proof of anything. It is just a story. Okay, so as we get into the 23andMe claims, it's suggesting that DNA kits are part of some elite resurrection project. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think about that. But I think sometimes we got to slow down before we take this information and run with it. Is there evidence of data misuse concerns in tech companies? Yes, we know that. That's a valid policy debate. Is there documented proof of coordinated occult resurrection plans tied to Iraq and ancient Mesopotamia? We don't have that. We don't have any proof or any receipts of that. We can critique corporate data practices without jumping to Nimrod reanimation, because once everything becomes demonic, nothing becomes provable. You can just blame everything on being demonic with no proof and no receipts. Then we get into CERN. CERN has a Shiva statue outside. Satanic agenda? Possibly. We can't be sure. Symbolism does not equal conspiracy. If aesthetic choices are criminal evidence, then half of Hollywood is running a medieval cult. The burden of proof is conduct, not decoration. Then we got to talk about the true crime and the named individuals within some of this conversation. This is where the tone starts to change. When you start naming private individuals and suggesting timeline inconsistencies, that moves into reputational territory. Suspicion is not evidence. What feels strange is not documentation. And I was right before is not legal validation. If you're alleging deception or wrongdoing, you need to have verifiable timestamps, independent cooperation, and documented contradictions, not narrative stitching. Then we have meta point. What is actually happening, okay? Is it a real scandal when it comes to Epstein? A real institution people distrust, such as big techs and elites, ancient religious imagery. Mix all of that together and it feels pretty deep. But depth is not the same as documentation. It's only a mood. So, do we question power? Always. Should we interrogate institutions? Yes. But if the standards become it connected in my head, therefore is true, then we replace journalism with mythology. And here's the dangerous part. When you blur the line between allegation and evidence, you don't just expose corruption, you normalize accusation. And once that becomes the rule, anyone, and I mean anyone, can be the next headline. Conspiracy isn't confirmation, and suspicion with a soundtrack is still just a suspicion. So sometimes, y'all, we have to pay attention to these things so we're not letting ourselves fall too deep into, quote, the rabbit hole and just believing anything that is said or that is felt or assumed by other people. Let's wait and make sure we have the proper receipts, documentations, and evidence for these things to be true. Anyway, y'all, we're going to go ahead and take another song break. And after this song break, we'll be back on part 2 of Candace Owens' video. And that's going to be her next episode where she has an open letter to Erika Kirk. We'll get into that in just a moment. Let's go ahead and play this song and I'll be right back.
Yeah. You thought you was safe? Yeah. You thought you was safe or good. Everybody looking for a home, looking for a click, looking for a place where the realness sticks. We out here building, trying to be free, but you just here to use them plain to see. I see you a user, a culture vulture, a leech, acting like you love the speech just so you can preach. You see the glow, you wanna get near it. You hear the soul, you try to engineer it. Wanna be in the circle, get the benefits, but you ain't put the work in. You just counterfeit. You a political operative, smiling in their face, just a snake in the grass, trying to take their place. We out here searching for a tribe, trying to be free, trying to live our best life, but the snakes stay close, wearing a disguise. Now you got mad, showed your true self, no surprise. You been pop, dumb bitches, read your rights. You been pop, dumb bitches, read your rights. Yeah. It's the activist in me that's gotta speak the truth. I'm allergic to the fake, been like this is my youth. See them in the comments, singing all the praise. Go sis, go, while they plotting in the haze. Plotting on a downfall, plotting on a spot. Thinking they can use a light to get what they ain't got. But you can't use a mirror, you can't use a queen. Your whole entire persona is a fucked up scene. You a resource sucker, energy drain. They bring the clouds, we just trying to bring the rain. But we see you, yeah, we see you. Your little mask is cracked and now you cornered, about to see how you're searching for a tribe, trying to be free, trying to live our best life, but the snakes stay close, wearing a disguise. Now you got mad, showed your true self, no surprise. You been pop, dumb bitches, read your rights. You been pop, dumb bitches, read your rights. These people don't care about your life or your struggle, they just wanna break you down and make your hustle tumble. Now we see the true colors at the core of these people. Their whole foundation is evil. We at war and we question these people. Gold in his love for her people.
And I've been trying to warn people, this is the ugly truth of the world.
Watching all the snakes uncurl. Here's the revelation, the part you should've known. A person's real character is when the anger's shown. You got pressed, you got mad. And all that fake ass love you had turned to poison. Jealousy and spite, they hate cause you that bitch and shining too bright. You ain't no friend, you just a hater in disguise. Walk past, head high, don't look them in the eyes. So here's the diss, you lost, you're done. Your fake support is over, your little game is run. You pop yourself, bitch, we ain't have to do a thing. Just sat back and watch you pull your own damn string. You been popped, you can't infiltrate this. Your mask is on the floor, go pick up your shit. We out, we out. You kid, yeah.
All right, y'all. So we're going to get into the second video now from Candace Owens. And this one is going to be about the open letter that she apparently sent out to Erika Kirk, demanding transparency, the missing 4K footage, and the TPUSA shift. This was her episode 303. So if you guys want to check out these entire episodes, if you have not watched them already, the first one that I showed y'all with the Epstein files and the unveiling of the shadows, that's on Candace Owens' channel, and that's episode 302. The one that I'll play some audio from now is from episode 303. And following Erika Kirk's recent media appearances, we're discussing Candace Owens' open letter. Why hasn't the 4K footage been released to the public? We explored the testimonies of the former employees and the strange details regarding wedding photos and rings that have the community asking, it's time for the accountability that was promised. So these are Candace words, not mine. And I'm going to go ahead and let y'all listen to a few of these words. So let's go ahead and get into this next video. And we're just going to play about 20 minutes of this. And if you guys want to hear the rest, please go over and support Candace Owens' channel. Check out these videos on your own accord and watch it from beginning to end. Pretty interesting information. And we will make our commentary about it after we listen to a bit of the audio. Let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll meet y'all in the chat.
Happy Thursday. So Erika Kirk went onto Fox News last night, and she made a plea for transparency. I have to say I'm totally with her on that one, and I would like to join her in the pursuit of it with an open letter to her. In the same vein, one of the fired TPUSA employees has now posted a public video informing the public of exactly what's been going on behind the scenes and the real reason that they believe that a lot of people were fired. Now, after watching their boss get assassinated and after working 20-hour days, this young employee was subjected to a rather bizarre loyalty test. We're going to tell you all about that. So welcome back to Candace.
I want there to always be full transparency, because what I don't want to have happen is for there not to be. And then I am relying then on social media and other news outlets to explain the narrative rather than saying, hey, this is what happened. This is what here's all of the, it's just as hard, all of the facts on the table for you guys to see. And you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
I don't believe her at all. That wasn't convincing. I don't know what was hard about getting that sentence out. That seems remarkably rehearsed. It almost just seems like she forgot a line. Nothing in her eyes there makes you believe it. She's telling the truth, but beyond the eyes, just the actions, right? You can judge people by their actions, Erika. If she truly wanted more transparency, she could provide it, because you don't need it in a courtroom. We actually do not need to turn to the courts to have the public understand what happened on that day, because before the courts even got involved, the first people that had access to exactly what happened in 4K, as Tyler Boyer said, was Turning Point USA. They seized the cameras. They could have said, here, I'm also going to have some private investigators take a look at everything and tell them what they think. I was one of the people that called and personally requested to view the tapes. I said, we don't have to release them. I just want to see the tapes. And they were immediately cagey. They've been cagey about information. They've been changing information for saying, oh, I didn't realize that we lied about this or we lied about that. So making this public plea to the courts, I don't know. I think that it stands in stark contrast to the actions that are available to Erika Kirk as the CEO and chairman of this massive organization. But exactly how massive? Anyway, I wanted to write this open letter to Erika because I know that Turning Point USA watches every episode of this podcast and that people then take what I say back to her and they give her notation. So I would appreciate it if the elves at Turning Point USA just let her see this in its entirety. Here we go. Because more information has become available to me. I am feeling, I'm feeling some type of way. Here we go. Ready? Dear Erika, I thought it best to do this publicly. I think public conversations keep everybody honest. And there are some things that certainly need to be clarified because sometimes the gap between the truth and the lie is what happens behind closed doors. You and Charlie began dating in earnest in 2019. And in retrospect, it was accompanied by a season of a lot of change. For one, I was getting married and virtually, therefore, joined at the hip with my fiance. He was sort of a new third wheel at all of our events. A few months later, on May 1st, the public was informed that I was resigning from my position as the communications director of Turning Point USA. Now, there has been a lot of public speculation as to what led to that decision. The media ran with it was anti-Semitism or some disagreement about Kanye West, but that wasn't true. None of that was true. The truth, and I think that you very well know what the truth is, because you were around for it, is that Charlie and I had a disagreement, which fractured my trust in him. He did something that he had never done before. He lied to my face about money. Now, in retrospect, I believe that the manner in which I discovered the lie might have been by design, but there's no need for us to delve into conspiracy when the facts are plenty enough. Charlie had taken a meeting down in Florida with Ike Perlmutter at Mar-a-Lago. It was a fundraising meeting. For whatever reason, he did not want me to know about this meeting, and that was strange. It was meant to be kept a secret. Strange because we had always collaborated on and taken those sorts of meetings together. Anyway, I found out about it and I decided to ask him casually as we were riding up an elevator at the Trump Hotel in DC. I said to him, have you heard from Ike recently? And he looked me right in the face just as he was getting off on his floor. And he said, no, I haven't. I haven't heard from him in like 2 weeks. And I then said back to him, really, Charlie, because you had lunch with him yesterday at Mar-a-Lago. And I saw his stomach drop. His entire face looked, as if he was going down a roller coaster. He stuck his arm back in the elevator really quickly and tried to explain it away. He then pivoted toward an apology, but obviously the damage was done. And if I'm being honest, I was as hurt as I was shocked and confused by it because we were close. We did go back down to the lobby. We sat at a table and we talked. I don't even remember whether or not I was angry. I probably was. That does tend to be my choice emotion. But deep down, there was a part of me that knew that it was coming because of a lot of the new hires that were coming into Turning Point USA post Kanye tweet. Charlie had new people in his ear that were hijacking his ambition, making him believe that money was the truest measure of success. Charlie was a brilliant fundraiser. Everybody knows that, but he was also young. He was naive to what the wrong money could invite into his life. And I warned him. I warned him in that restaurant. I warned him specifically about Stacey Sheridan. Everything about her made my skin crawl. And I suspected she and Tyler had something to do with it. I also warned him about Schaefer Security and Dan Flood. You can check the text messages because you have them. And now I am left wondering, obviously, if Charlie had heeded my advice, if he would still be alive. I've also come to another realization that I missed at that time. maybe the newest and the biggest influence in his ear. Who was that? Obviously, it was you. You were the newest and biggest influence in Charlie's life. You kind of all arrived at the same time. And you too, Erika, you lied to my face as we sat down in that hotel and we spoke for 4 hours. But I want to be clear, it was different. You see, with Charlie, I could forgive him. We were always like brother and sister. We went on tours thereafter. But you didn't do it when you lied. You didn't do it out of naivety. You didn't do it because you were young and being pulled into the wrong direction by bad faith actors. Andrew Colvett was never going rogue. You knew that. Every single evil thing that was done to me was done with your blessing. And I consider the onslaught of attacks that I had to endure, they were evil. Because you knew I was telling the truth, and you authorized people with an incredible amount of money to attack one of the few people in politics who was actually grieving your husband. You knew we had a deep friendship. You knew I was telling the truth about the Catholic thing, about everything. You allowed these people to lie and to say that Charlie and I hadn't spoken since 2019. I mean, it's crazy how much of a lie that was. You authorized it, and I now know that. The question is why? It was so cruel. It was so mean, right? Why impart that on someone who you know within a sea of snakes actually cared about Charlie and didn't want anything out of the organization? Maybe it's because I was like a loose end, one person that wasn't controlled by an organization. I'd just kind of proven that I'd rather lose everything to say something that I don't believe, least of all for money. I mean, maybe it's also because you have his phone. And when I revealed to the public that he had predicted his own death in remarkable detail, maybe you went back and you read the rest of those messages, the ones that I haven't yet revealed to the public, because in retrospect, those messages they're pretty terrifying because they're precise and it feels prophetic. Charlie was gifted. You know that. I know that. And the government most certainly knew that as well since he was a kid, which is why it was at least very interesting to me that you told the New York Times, something that most people didn't pay attention to, but you told the New York Times the night before his murder, Charlie's, and I'm going to quote this, you said that Charlie's adrenal glands were just going off. He couldn't sleep. I know enough about Charlie to know what that means. That means that Charlie was being bothered. He was probably having visions like he was in 2018, probably a clearer vision than the one that I had that you guys tried to mock, that danger was coming. And I'm going to go ahead and say that it wasn't about a Jezebel article written by some leftist. Please stop saying that because it's not true. I know Charlie, a leftist article didn't upset him in this way, didn't make him call a priest to pray over him. He thought someone was going to kill him. He did express that in writing, and you did not lose those text messages. You knew that. But Charlie and I spoke a lot about his third eye. That's why that sentence caught my attention in the article. He spoke about the street lamps that would go off when he would run, about the special school that he had to go to. We spoke about a lot of the things that were strange in our childhood, the testing that both of us had to endure. We spoke about the fact that we could both astral project. You know all of this, of course. You have his phone. And how surprised we were when we learned that not everybody does that naturally. Sleep paralysis, you name it. We had conversations about it. And if Charlie's adrenal glands were going off, it was probably maybe for the very same reason that I pulled my kids out of school days before he was murdered, because I sensed danger was coming. And since we are being open, I also want you to know that it struck me as odd when you said in that interview with Jesse Waters that you wanted Charlie to have a good night's sleep. He was so excited. So you sent him to sleep in his daughter's room. You know, it just registered to me as a little bit backwards. If I wanted my husband to have a good night's sleep because of something he had the next day, I'd probably let him sleep in the room, and I would sleep in my daughter's room. I flagged that. I also thought what was interesting is that you said the next morning when he snuck in, he grabbed his wedding band. Again, minor detail, but I asked myself, why was his wedding band off? But enough with speculation. Here are the facts. I now have verifiable proof in writing that Justin Strife and you lied to me. you know exactly who Pierre is. Why did Justin Strife say that he had never heard of Pierre? It's crazy. Justin, why would you do that? Justin, you know him. You've met with him. You've personally met with Pierre. Erika, you've met with him in the wake of Charlie's death. I have, again, verifiable proof. So you can call your lawyers. You can spend another $1 billion on PR if you want to. Tell your lawyer to call my lawyer. I mean, you guys certainly have the money to do all of these things. It's not going to wipe away the truth. Okay. The truth is that there was a deal on the table with Pierre, who, yes, is from France, born in France. And that deal was worth billions, not millions, billions, plural, billions of dollars. Just after Charlie was shot, and again, I have proof, Pierre had a phone call with Justin Strife. He also had a phone call with Mr. Don Orico of Turning Point USA down in Tampa. And you know what's really odd? Somehow this Frenchman, Pierre, he knew that Charlie was dead before the rest of the world did. How did he know that? How did he know before I knew? Especially because he wasn't yet a donor to Turning Point USA. Why was he given so much priority? Frenchman. I'm interested. I know that after Charlie died, that deal went through. Yeah. I mean, if I'm lying, this would definitely fall within the category of defamation. So, yeah, I'm all in on this one. I'm guessing, by the way, regarding this, Pierre, that this might be the reason that the White House never got back to me regarding the French Foreign Legion being involved with Charlie's assassination. Because, I don't know, there could be a French angle here. Could this be a motive? Could billions of dollars be a motive? I mean, I'll just ask some immediate questions. My question would be, why would a devout Catholic Frenchman be looking to give billions of dollars to an evangelical organization? Is that not weird? Just objectively weird? Gosh, that's a pretty big investment. Just really care about free market capitalism? What's France got to do with college campuses in America? Full stop. The answer, Erika, is nothing. Nothing. And one of the things that when I was a kid, and other GATE kids, since we've been speaking about the GATE program, when they put you in these special classes, they test you frequencies, sounds, they made us drink fluoride, all the weird stuff. But one of the things that they're especially interested in is how quickly you can put together puzzles. And I want you to know that I excelled at that. I was really good at putting together puzzles. I gotta tell you, I think the picture is starting to emerge here. I think I was right. My best guess is that it was Pierre Falcone all along of Angola Gate. We talked about it on the show. France, Israel, the United States. This time it would be Egypt rather than Angola, all working together. Maybe they were getting the band back together to traffic because, there's been a lot of trafficking that just keeps coming up in this investigation. These countries, these satellite of countries, you trying to pretend with your billions of dollars, got a PR, we can do all of this. And it was so crazy. Oh my God. A little joke about the Egyptian planes. What? Nothing to see here. This is my theory. There's a lot to see here because you were lying to cover Bibi Netanyahu's tracks. That's very strange. You were there when Bibi Netanyahu called. Andrew told me that Bibi offered to take Turning Point USA to the next level and that Charlie turned him down in the Hamptons at the dinner that you were a part of, but you don't remember that part. You say he's just calling about a letter that Charlie wrote 5 months earlier. The dinner that you thereafter allowed an army of influencers to claim never actually happened, but you were there. Oh, I was there every step of the way. None of this ever happened. Nobody wanted to address Bibi calling. Nobody made any statements about that. Full-blown psyop, psychological operation. Truly, everything that you guys did, not only was it cruel, but I think the real motivation was you just thought you could psychologically break me. Because that's what this whole thing has been. It's been one big psyop, very well funded because there's a lot of money on the line. If nothing happened in the Hamptons that was out of the usual, why the panic? Because something did happen. Charlie told Bibi Netanyahu no. Bibi, also, Charlie had declined to have Bibi on his podcast. When Bibi went on a little PR tour, Charlie didn't want to have him on the podcast, according to Andrew. So Charlie seems pretty done with Israel, right? You don't want to have on the prime minister of Israel? But the obvious question here at the media is not interested in, but I certainly am, is in exchange for what, right? In exchange for what was Bibi Netanyahu going to take Turning Point USA to the next level? In exchange for what? And also, how was he planning to get that money into the company? Turning Point was already worth $100 million. Pulls in $100 million annually. What does the next level mean? It sounds like it would have to be billions. Via whom? My guess is Pierre. Erika. I think that there's a reason Pierre knew that Charlie was dead first. I think there's a reason he was a priority. How? Why? I think France and Israel are involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. And I'm going to put that out there with full confidence. I also now have very strong evidence which suggests that you lied about your whereabouts on the morning of September 10th. Little details have been edited. You said that you were accompanying your mother as she was receiving a treatment. Like I said, I now have something which strongly disputes that narrative. So I'll ask you this question on behalf of the world. What the hell happened on September 10th? Why are you guys struggling to get your story straight? Why did you tell Jesse Waters this?
And you wanted to see Charlie immediately and came up. Take us through that.
We landed in Utah, went straight to the hospital.
Straight to the hospital? Andrew told me that when he deplaned, you guys embraced on the tarmac and he boohoo cried in your arms because he had so much pent up anxiety. So just given the planes, which you confirmed to me, which plane he was on and which plane you were on, that would mean that you had to wait for Andrew to land for an hour. Waited for an hour. Don't do the thing where you tell me that Andrew went rogue. Don't do that, Erika. You're lying. You would be lying. The question is why? Why did you wait? And how long did you wait? And who was on the Egyptian planes? Who took off to Delaware? Who stayed behind to communicate on that second plane that was transponding for no reason? I think you know what I know, which is that I'm going to find out. This is not going to be a never-ending mystery. This is not going to be the JFK story. I'm going to figure out exactly what happened, and I'm getting very close against all odds, against billions. You might have the billions, but I have the truth. So that's what I wanted to say to you. We'll be right back. All right, you guys, inflation has been skyrocketing.
All right, y'all. So that was a mouthful. If you have not heard that live, or if you have not watched that podcast with Candace, I'm not going to play it all here. I just wanted to play a bit of that for intro for you guys to hear. And if you do want to hear from beginning to end, please go over and check out Candace Owens Podcast and her channel on YouTube. Watch these full episodes right here. This is episode 302 and episode 303 that I played here today on the live. So you can listen to all of it, but there was a lot being said. One of the things that I want to talk about, especially when it comes to this episode, is, when headlines are transparency, but the delivery is mostly like vibes and vision boards and feelings and energy and things like that. We have to be careful with those things. Now, it opens up with Erika Kirk on Fox saying that she wants full transparency about what happened to her husband. And let's be very clear, I am not mad at that. Transparency is exactly what the public should want in high profile cases like this, but any case, especially if it's your spouse, you would want full transparency. But the commentary immediately goes, I don't believe her. Her eyes, she looks rehearsed. Now, can we be sure? Can we be sure? Because we are not doing ocular forensics in 2026. A lot of us are not professionals when it comes to that. Body language can give us pieces of information or hints of possibly if someone is telling the truth or not, but it's not evidence. Acting awkward on TV is not a felony. Some people just look weird on camera. That can't necessarily be proof. That's just more so coming from a personality. Now, the show's main strategy is clear. It is an open letter that Candace has written now and said that is going directly towards Erika Kirk, but it is also an open-ended allegation machine, kind of, because it mixes personal history, insider claims, and then escalates into a motive theory. Pierre, billions of dollars, France, Israel, planes, transponders. And here's the thing. You can't go from, I have verifiable proof to, trust me, and I think that this counts as verification. If the proof is real, don't tease it to people like a Netflix trailer. Drop the receipts. Because I have proof is not proof. It's a promise. And in journalism or any serious analysis, the public can evaluate a promise. The public can't evaluate a promise. We can only evaluate what's actually being shown and provided to us. Then we get to the Pierre segment. A mysterious French Catholic, allegedly tied to billions of dollars and billions of dollar deals. And we're told that this person knew about the unaliving before the world knew. Okay. If that's true, then that's huge. Don't get me wrong. But it's also the kind of claim that requires dates, names, call logs, emails, documents. Not, I'm all in. Because in the real world, I'm all in is typically something you hear somebody saying when they're at the poker table. Not what you say when you're trying to prove a serious allegation towards someone. Then we pivot to the fired employee video about getting questioned over something an Uber driver supposedly said. And honestly, that part is the most relatable piece of the whole episode. Because we've all worked somewhere that acts like it's the CIA when it's really just HR with a main character syndrome. But here's why I land on this. It's completely fair to demand transparency, to criticize PR decisions, to question inconsistencies, and to point out when organizations clamp down on staff or messaging after a crisis. That's legitimate. What's not legitimate is turning suspicion into certainty without letting the audience see the proof. So the standard is simple. If you're making extraordinary claims, show extraordinary evidence. If you don't have it, or you don't have it yet, say you don't have it yet. And maybe not sell implications like it's documentation. Because connect the dots is not the same as connect the evidence. And I'm watching a courtroom case like it's reality TV. We don't need to continue to do that. If individuals or people are going to speak out about claims such as these or similar, these individuals need to bring receipts, not riddles, not feelings, not notions. Receipts and hardcore evidence. And so that's all I'll say on that, y'all. That can be applied to many different things, but it does, I think need to be said because a lot of this is happening. A lot of these things are leading a lot of people down a rabbit hole. And so if we're going to speak about something, we got to come with the receipts. That's all I'm saying, especially when it's things severe as this. Like this is a major situation. It's a major story. It's been covered now, I believe, globally or seen globally. And so, you know, I just feel as though we'll see. We will see what happens. But I do believe evidence, proof, and receipts are necessary. Anyway, y'all, we're going to go ahead and take another song break. After that song break, we're going to get into some of the updates. The updates around, let's go ahead and get into it, since I know a lot of people don't want to. So it's been alleged who the unaliver of Charlie Kirk was. And there has been some more research and some more investigations done into that. And of course, Candace claims that she doesn't believe that it's the actual person who unalived Charlie Kirk. We're going to get into that. So we're going to play this song and we'll be right back.
On the bill is looking faded and frayed. The fourth estate is corporate owned and heavily paid. They're trading in the facts for a narrative fabricated. If you leak the truth, you get deleted and degraded. Look, the teleprompter's glowing with the scripted out deception. A digital infection to manipulate perception. They steer the conversation in a singular direction, while the First Amendment's dying with no hope of resurrection. It's a manufactured crisis, yeah, they're selling us the fear. Whispering the lies until it's all the people here. They call it fact checking just to keep the vision blurry, while they bury every whistleblower in a frantic hurry. Silence in the streets, silence in the booth. A total moratorium on anyone with truth. They're tearing out the pages, yeah, they're burning down the fence. A war against the people and against our common sense. It's the sound of the silence. It's heavy and it's cold. It's the sound of the silence. It's heavy and it's cold. Check the independent outlets, yeah, they're catching all the heat. The ones who skip the press release and actually hit the beat. But the algorithms weaponize, the reach is getting throttled. The spirit of the journalist is suffocated bottle. They shadow ban the brave and they platform the fake. It's a psychological game with the highest of stakes. If you don't toe the line, then they label you a threat, putting filters on your mouth like a suffocating net. They claim they're stopping harm, but they're only stopping thought. Democracy is auctioned and the airwaves have been bought. The gatekeepers are frantic, they're losing their control, so they're trying to put a padlock on the collective soul. They're cutting the wires, they're pulling the plugs, treating the seekers of truth like the thugs. From the boardrooms to the courtrooms, the pressure is rising. The death of the discourse of what they're devising. Spark in the dark is a beautiful thing. Let the bells of the rebels and dissidents ring. Of peace if the cost is your tongue. The songs of the ancestors are waiting to be sung. They want us quiet, compliant, and staring at the floor while they're locking up the exits and they're bolting every door. But the truth is a frequency they can't fully jam. I'm a man with a mind, I'm not a ghost in their program. No more silence. The loudest thing in the world is the truth they try to hide. Keep the mic on, keep the eyes open. Keep the eye color silent. Keep the eye color silent. Keep the eye color silent. It's the sound of the silence.
All right, y'all. So we're back. We're going to go ahead and get into the next video. But one of the things I want to say before I move on is, when it comes to Candace Owens, I just think that, sometimes it could come off that she's a conspiracy theorist and she may take it too far. But one of the things that I know and I have learned and seen about her from watching some of her content is that she always welcomes being challenged. And she welcomes debate. So that to me says that this is a person, that's definitely intellectual and tries, I guess, her best to be transparent when it comes to what she really believes or may have or have not proof to submit. So anyway, that's just some things I wanted to say on that. But now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into our next video. Before we move on to, I know probably the one y'all want to see, y'all, Katt Williams. but we got to get into the updates, okay? So we have some of the latest verified information about Charlie Kirk and that investigation, okay? So from the Texas Tribune, Texas Teacher Union sues the state education agency for investigating social media posts about Charlie Kirk. That's on January 14, 2026. That's today. ABC 7 San Francisco, Charlie Kirk murder suspect Tyler Robinson makes his first in-person court appearance. And I have that to show to you guys in just a bit. Surveillance video of Charlie Kirk, murder suspect, missing from sheriff's office. We also have top union accusing Texas of targeting teachers over Charlie Kirk's post. Patel touts his record at a hearing amid questions over probe into Kirk's unaliving and FBI upheaval. This is an ongoing criminal case against the accused Pal Power. Tyler Robinson, who is 22 years old, is the man charged with aggravated murder in the fatal powing of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. This happened on September 10th, 2025. Prosecutors are seeking the unalive penalty if he is convicted. His first court appearances have already taken place as the case moves through the Utah courts. Robinson's attorneys are currently asking a judge to disqualify the prosecutor's handling of the case, claiming a potential conflict of interest because a prosecutor adult child was present at the scene. The hearing is pending with ruling expected to be soon. There is a courtroom trial and procedural developments. The defense is also pushing to limit courtroom video and media access to protect Robinson's rights to a fair trial. Judge Tony Draft is considering the defense motion, but hasn't yet ruled on disqualification. After Kirk's unaliving, there has been national spotlight on reactions to the powing, including social media posts by educators. Hundreds of complaints were made to the Texas Education Agency about teachers' comments on social media about Kirk's assassination. The agency has investigated some, prompting criticism and federal lawsuits from teacher unions, arguing violations of free speech rights. These complaints and disciplinary actions are part of a broader cultural debate about free speech, mourning the political expression after the event. Let's go ahead and get into this video, y'all. I want y'all to watch some of this. This is right directly from the courtroom. We'll be right back.
Believe she had made her way to the parking lot and was waiting for a friend to go home. So I knew she wasn't at the scene itself.
When you got there, you're understanding why she was gone.
When I got to the campus,
Yes.
yes, she was gone by then.
Okay. Did you have some communication from anybody about a piece of property of your daughter's being there at the crime scene?
Yes, she had informed me that she left her book bag behind in the amphitheater, which is the subject of Exhibit F, in part at least.
Mm-hmm.
And that was communicated later that day to law enforcement that her book bag was there. It had her laptop, books and notes and things in it.
You didn't see it there when you were at the scene?
I actually...
Give me just 1 second, y'all. I got to get to the right part of the video. Hold on. I'll be right back.
They fear the truth, 'cause lies pay the rent. whistle. Truth hit hard, make them lose sleep. 10 toes down, I don't backtrack. Can't mute a voice when the facts clap. Truth tellers stand up, we don't fold, we don't bend. From the streets to the suits to the fake rich friends. If it's dark, we expose it, do it over again. Say it, run it. They build careers off silence and fear. Shake hands in public, clot in the rear. Paperwork clean, but the blood still fresh. Smile for the cameras, rot in the flesh. They say play the game, I say name the crime. I don't wait my turn, I don't toe they line. Truth ain't safe, it don't come with guards. But I'd rather be real than protected by frauds. They blacklist names, bury the brave. Then praise them later when it's socially safe. I'm talking right now, put it straight in your face. Every lie exposed is a crack in the cage. Blow the whistle. Hear the panic when it rings. Truth loud, no filter, no strings. I don't need permission for the things I sing. Truth tellers, stand firm. Yeah, we built for the storm. If the lie make money, best believe we transform. Left. Red carpets hide dirty deals. Bright lights don't mean everything is healed. In these eyes over trauma and pain. Gold chains heavier than the shame. They protect the brand, sacrifice souls. Call it the culture, but we know the code. If you speak too loud, they cut your lane. If you stay quiet, they let you gain. I ain't selling pain back to the youth. I ain't dressing lies or calling it truth. I'd rather lose fame, lose access, than win by silence while the wicked get passes. Truth, tell it. Lies, expose them. Fear, we don't. Silence, no more. Algorithms gag when you hit too close. Boost the fake, suppress what's exposed. They love the trend, hate the truth. If it wake the people, they cut the view. Influence rented, morals for sale. Everybody woke to the sponsors bail. I don't chase likes, I don't chase fame. I drop facts even if they shadow my name. Can't cancel truth, can't flag what's real. Can't mute pain that the people feel. I post it raw, let it shake the room. Blow the whistle, let it echo boom. Blow whistle. Yeah, let it scream. Every fake empire crack at the seams. Truth tellers, stand tall. Even solo we win. History don't chronicle. It remembers them. Truth don't whisper. Truth don't beg. Truth stand 10 toes. And blow the whistle anyway.
Another high-stakes hearing ahead in the case against Charlie Kirk's accused assassin. Tyler Robinson's defense team fighting to keep key evidence sealed and arguing intense media coverage is tainting the jury pool. Senior correspondent Eric Schott has been following this. He's in New York now with what's at stake. Eric?
Hi, John. Well, you know that video of Charlie Kirk's assassination is horrific. Well, now Tyler Robinson's attorneys say it should not be shown in court. Kirk, as you know, was murdered last September as he spoke at a Turning Point event with students at Utah Valley University in Orem. His accused assassin, the defendant, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, faces capital murder charges that could bring him the death penalty if convicted. Well, his attorneys object to the video of Kirk's killing being introduced as evidence, saying the images are, quote, graphic and highly disturbing to any person who views it, negatively impacting Mr. Robinson's constitutional right to a fair trial. Robinson's defense has also been trying to get the Utah County Prosecutor's Office thrown off of the case, accusing it of having a conflict of interest. It turns out the 18-year-old child of a senior prosecutor who was a student at the university was at the Kirk event. Robinson's attorney says that student heard the shot and fled with a panicked crowd.
This is a motion to disqualify county attorney's office based on what we believe is a material, significant conflict of interest that it's clear they haven't even tried to address by way of a screening.
But prosecutors say there is no conflict of interest because the prosecutor's kid did not actually witness Kirk being shot, didn't see anyone with a gun, and is not a material witness in the case.
I just think this is ambush and another stalling tactic to delay these proceedings.
Our prosecutors say they do plan to show the videos or screenshots of Kirk at the event during tomorrow's hearing. They say doing so is not prejudicial to Robinson because the trial hasn't started and there is no jury to sway.
It's going to irk a lot of people that the man who allegedly killed him doesn't want the video of what he allegedly did shown. Eric Sean for us. Eric, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity.
All right, so I just wanted to show y'all that news report first, and then I'm going to go ahead and get back into some of the trial, the updated comments that are made right here on the stand, and I was able to find that timestamp, so that's what I was trying to do while I played that song break. But let's go ahead and get into it and listen to this. This is the most recent updated trial hearing.
Of the evidence that has been collected in this case and the investigation that has been done?
I am, yes.
First off, will you describe basically the scene where Charlie Kirk was killed when he was shot and killed?
Yeah, the scene is essentially an amphitheater setup. Mr. Kirk's stage was set up at the base of the amphitheater, and then there are, I guess, semicircular tiers that move back up and away from the stage area, creating the amphitheater.
And how many people approximately were present?
Estimates for attendance at the event itself were about 3,000 people, and then the campus was open to regular students that day also.
How did the State Bureau of Investigation determine who to interview of those 3,000 people?
There were several processes used. There was a general request for information that was put out for people who attended the event. There was a time when people who had attended the event returned to collect personal belongings, and posters and requests were made for people to provide information. People who had volunteered information. So several different sources and several different ways that we made contact with the public.
Okay. And were all of the witnesses of equal value, those that were present at the event?
Essentially, yes. There were one or two who were able to provide different information, but essentially the majority of people who provided information provided confirming or repetitive information about their experience.
Okay. I want to ask you about videos that were collected. Well, first, do you have an approximate number of how many witnesses were interviewed out of those that were present at the event?
I know that as a state entity, we're able to obtain over 40, what we would call an 1102 or a witness statement, which is a written statement. I also know that the FBI provided us with a number of written statements and interviews that they conducted also.
So did you say 40?
At least 40, it would be more than that.
Okay. Plus FBI collected additional statements.
Correct.
Okay. Did you collect videos that some of these people had taken?
We did, yes.
I would like to present State's Exhibit 1. You should see it appear on your screen in a moment. Okay, if you can just pause that for a moment, Kimberly, thank you. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 1?
I do, yes.
What is that?
That was a video provided by an individual named Mr. Lyman, who was behind where the stage was set up. There's a kind of a walkway that goes under a building. And then behind that, there were vehicles staged, and that's when Mr. Kirk arrived on scene.
For the purposes of this hearing, I'd move the admission of Exhibit 1.
No objection.
It's received and admitted. Thank you.
Please play that video. describe where this is we're seeing, or what we're seeing and where this video is capturing at this point? And we are at 14 seconds into the video.
This is Mr. Kirk's arrival to the event. As I mentioned before, that kind of concrete breezeway that was behind the stage area. Mr. Kirk made his way through that. And then he would have been stage right when he first entered into the amphitheater. I didn't know at the time, but I guess he has a tradition of throwing out hats to the audience, and so that was what he commenced doing at that time.
Okay, and then in a minute, we're going to see the video capture the actual amphitheater area. Is that accurate?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, go ahead and hit play, please. Thank you. Are there other videos that the Bureau of Investigation collected that capture the crowd in the event?
Yes, there are numerous videos that were collected from individuals who had been attendees at the event, and also videos from the university itself.
Meaning University of Utah Valley University surveillance footage?
Correct, yes. Utah Valley University has a comprehensive surveillance system.
And Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's organization, did they also capture videos of the event?
They did, yes.
I'd like to show you State's Exhibit number 2. I have in front of you State's Exhibit number 2. Do you recognize that?
I do, yes.
And is that a video that's collected in the investigation in this case?
It is, yes.
For the purpose of the limited purpose of this hearing, I'd move the admission of Plaintiff's Exhibit 2.
Defense.
No objection.
It's admitted. Thank you.
Okay. Will you describe what we're going to see here before we hit the play button?
Yeah, this video will actually zoom into the roof area of the buildings. You can see center screen. In doing so, the video will capture an individual on the corner of the rooftop.
Was this video captured by the person we're referring to as Prosecutor A's daughter?
No.
Okay. Please press play.
You think he'd already be in place? You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying? He just ran from over, where's my finger? Whoa. From over there, ran in. And now he's right there. Just saying.
Now, that roof that was recorded in that video, first, is there other surveillance of that person and a person in that location at that time running to that spot?
There is additional footage, yes.
Where does that come from?
That came from the Utah Valley University security cameras.
All right. Is there another individual that also recorded a person running after the shooting from the roof?
Not to my recollection, no.
Any video from someone, you recall a video from someone in the Hall of Flags who may have reported someone running after the shooting?
Yes, there was an individual who recorded from the Hall of Flags. It's an interior video looking through the windows, but I believe an individual is visible on the rooftop also in that video.
Okay, thank you. As far as other witnesses, some of the other relevant witnesses in this case, who is Hunter Kozak?
My recollection is he was the individual who was asking the question to Mr. Kirk at the time that he was shot.
Okay. Would he be a witness in this case? Could he be a witness, I should ask?
Potentially, yes.
Okay. Where was he positioned in relation to Mr. Kirk?
I believe the way the stage was set up, he was approximately the same height level of Mr. Kirk, but he would have been directly in front of him where they had the barrier set up separating the crowd from the stage area.
Okay. I would like to show you Exhibit 4. Now, Exhibit 4, this is a screen capture from a video. Do you recognize Exhibit 4?
I do, yes.
You remember the video from which this is taken?
Yeah, it was a cell phone video belonging to an attendee of the event.
And that attendee was not the prosecutor's child.
It was not the prosecutor's child, no.
Will you describe what the video shows?
If I recall, this is a graphic video that does actually show the time that Mr. Kirk is impacted by a projectile and the subsequent trauma and reaction of the crowd.
Okay. Does it show the position of the people to his right and to his left?
Mr. Kirk's right and left?
Yes.
In a limited manner, it does, yes.
Okay. Does it show the position, the video, we're speaking of the video, does the video show the position of the questioner, Mr. Kozak?
I don't recall if it pans all the way to the question asker or not specifically, but there is potential that it does, yes.
I'd move the admission of Plaintiff's Exhibit 4.
No objection.
It is admitted into evidence.
All right, guys. So I didn't want to play too much of that, but I wanted to play a little bit of it for y'all so y'all can hear what exactly is going on right now in the current hearing and the updates of the situation. If you guys want to check this out and watch the entirety of the hearing, it is on ET Now World YouTube channel. You can check it out there. But what we're going to go ahead and do now, y'all, is pivot away from this as far as the Erika Kirk, the Charlie Kirk, and the Candace Owens situations and topics. And we're going to go ahead and get into some of what Katt Williams had to say. Y'all know I love me some Katt Williams. So let me play one more song break, and then we're going to get right into that video, y'all. Thanks for rocking with me, and we'll be right back, okay?
Check the tag, check the greed. ICE agents hunting humans just to get the fee they need. They don't care about the name, they don't care about the face. Just a bounty on the soul, trying to scrub them from the plate. Getting paid by the head, yeah, they stacking up the bread. While the families in the shadows living life in constant dread. It's a business, it's a racket, it's a cold-blooded game. Let's snatch a father from his daughter just to justify the name. ICE is moving through the night. For the love of money. Trading souls for federal life. For the love of money. They're apprehend anyone for pay. Doesn't matter who you are, they're gonna take you away. For that lean, green, the system's got them all that need. I need the racks, but not like that, no. I need the plat, but keep the facts straight. YouTube views got them acting real strange. Selling out the culture for some digital change. Click the struggle. Monetize the pain while the agents in the street are washing blood with the rain. They're getting paid to hunt, I'm getting paid to speak. The government is green and the schools are so weak. Check the analytics, check the borderline. The greed in the district's gonna drive us out our mind. Apprehending for a bonus, that's a soul-crushing crime. Let you have it, I'd rather have the truth. Stop trading our future and the spirits of our youth. Money, 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 money. All right, y'all. So before we go ahead and we get into the Katt Williams, y'all, I don't know if you've seen it or not. We had a great interview with Big Boy TV, which I really love watching Big Boy TV. We're going to get into that in just a moment. I just want to go ahead and just give some final thoughts as far as everything that is happening, you know, with Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens. So basically, Candace Owens has repeatedly questioned aspects of Charlie Kirk's death or unaliving
suggested possible insider knowledge, and publicly criticized Erika Kirk's responses, often without publicly verified evidence. Erika Kirk has instead urged to end the conspiracy theories, and she has emphasized respect for the investigations and her family's privacy. So we can ask ourselves, guys, what we would do in that position, how we would feel. We can't be sure. But one thing that I can be sure of is in this time and age, especially with social media being as big as it is and being able to carry stories so far, I do think it's our responsibility that if we're going to speak on certain things with such, confidence, that we should have the exact evidence and proof and receipts to support our theories, or else it will just be a conspiracy theory. And on the other side, if any foul play is or has been in position, then we can attest to the fact that this is the year of truth. And what is done in the dark keeps coming out to the light. So I guess we can just, lay comfortable in the fact that these things will come out when it's time for them to come out. Anyway, y'all, let's move right along. We're going to go ahead and get into our next video. Well, actually our last video for this live. And we'll talk a little bit about Katt Williams' conversation with Big Boy TV. No regrets, no apologies. So, the truth teller returns. Katt speaks on Diddy, Chappelle, and industry secrets on Big Boy TV Sit Down. Katt Williams is back again on Big Boy TV, and he's doubling down. He explains exactly why he'll never apologize for his recent truth-telling tour. From the, dark side of Diddy industry parties to the spiritual pressures placed on Dave Chappelle, Katt reveals why he chose his soul over a paycheck. He's got the receipts, and he isn't backing down for anyone. So I'm going to go ahead and let y'all listen to a little bit of that. You can't watch it, y'all. We got to listen to it. And then we'll have some thoughts and conversation in the chat about what we think. But I thought it was an excellent interview. I won't play all of it. I'm just going to play a little bit. So if you guys haven't seen it in totality yet, please head over to Big Boy TV. Check out that interview with Katt Williams. It's really dope. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll be right back.
Hello. I've known Katt Williams for over 20 plus years. From his hilarious stand-up specials and concerts to his insights on our culture.
The stuff you've done is not even doable in a small market, let alone a large.
From movies like Friday After Next to television shows like My Wife and Kids to the roast of Flavor Flav, and who could forget his appearance on Club Shay Shay.
When he said, "Come on, Katt," and he was like, "No, man, nobody's going to want to do my show." You remember what you told him?
I told him lots of people.
He said, "They're all coming."
Katt Williams and his unapologetic comedy style has us constantly laughing and thinking. It's 2026 now, and Katt Williams is releasing his new Netflix special, The Last Report. And he sat down with me for a new episode of Big Boys Off Air. So grab yourself a drink, some smoke, or however you get down, maybe some popcorn. This is Big Boys Off Air with Katt Williams.
Look, let me explain something to you. I'm not scared to say nothing.
I know that.
I'll say it.
Man, it is a pleasure to see you, brother. Where do we start? Let's start at the beginning.
Let's start at the beginning. Yes.
Hey, man, so we're here at a new year. And do you do resolutions or anything like that? Or you just kind of don't do that stuff?
I do weekly. Like I'm constantly in the midst of a resolution.
You working on something right now?
At all times, I'm trying to refine this thing, you know, and just get better. And that's where being, you know, messed up is so helpful, because you got so much, like, I got so much to fix. Like, this is wonderful.
Yeah, there's no such thing called perfect, huh? Or when you say like, no, I'm done. I'm fine now.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty perfect where it is right now.
Right. But you also know, Katt, how to appear and disappear. Is that by design for you to appear and disappear?
As a hunter, it's part of how it goes, is that the prey has to be given enough time to relax and to feel like it's okay. And
come back
they
out.
can maybe say something or do something, and you know.
But you know, talking with you also, Katt, are you aware of everything? And the reason why I ask you that is, even though if you know how to appear and disappear, right?
Right.
It seemed like you still hear things and see things, just from the conversation that we had before we sat down.
That's part of the disappearance. Like I'm saying, I'm not disappearing to twiddle my thumbs. I'm disappearing to do the behind the scenes work, the inner work, the shadow work necessary to pull off what it is I'm trying to pull off against at times supernatural competition.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, yeah, we stay in the gym.
When you say the supernatural, because there's certain things, man, that you you created a path that I feel is a blueprint to the way a lot of people do things now. Because when we first sat down, probably 2 decades ago, easy, the world was who's booking you, where you going, what production company you're with, who's doing your shows. And now we've seen the business move in a whole different direction. But you were already doing that, where when your shows went off, your name appeared in the credits, not just as a person, as the talent, but you made sure that either you put up your own money, executive produced it. Why was that important to you years ago?
My God is just so faithful. Like I already knew, like, you know how they say know your worth? Mm-hmm. Like I knew it. I knew my actual worth. And it can be a little more depressing if that's the case, if you don't achieve it, you know? But I had long faith and I believed in the product. Mm-hmm. I believed in the conversation that was being had. So to have paid for, produced, did all 12 of the first specials like that, that's because like this is my product. Like this is the best thing about me here that I'm selling. Mm-hmm. So that's an easy sell. Because I'm at least, if nothing else, I'm trying my best.
Yeah. But you know, we get this thing when everybody's looking to the right. Mm-hmm. There's few that come from the left. And you're one of those that kind of, when we were all looking to the right, you came from the left. Even when I fast forward to where we are now, this is year 32 for me in radio, right?
Right.
And I remember years ago, people used to say, oh, podcasts. Man, they doing a podcast because they can't get a radio show. You know what I'm saying? Podcasts are like what we call, oh, that's the graveyard. And now when you fast forward, it's the podcast that's, you know, podcasters making the money. Podcasters are leading the way, aside from, you know, some of us great radio personalities. But right. That's one of them things too. And the reason why I bring that up is because at one point, you were probably looking to others as, man, what is he doing, man? He might as well just get with HBO show, any marquee. Were you feeling that early on when people thought like, Did they feel you couldn't get the deal, or why you're not with such and such?
I don't know, Big. All I've ever done is win.
Right.
I'm just a winner. And, you know, unfortunately, at times, that requires you to take some punches, you know, for people to think, oh, he's losing. And then you win. It's a wonderful existence.
Do you do things to prove Katt Williams right? Or do you do things to kind of prove others wrong?
It's a great question.
Thank you. You ever been asked that before?
No, never. No. And that is all of the questions thus far. Like, you're really great at what you do. That's why I'm here. But like, I care what people think, but only in the past tense. So I only care about what they think about what I've already done. Not I would allow them to influence what I'm going to do next. And I don't have to prove anything to me. I'm just trying to do the best job that I can do, however it goes.
Are you critical in your own work?
Yeah, yes, but not overly. Like, I give myself enough room to make mistakes because I know I'm not perfect. And I've written these 14 hours of stand-up comedy. So it's great for me to even be in the position. I clearly know when I did a 8 instead of a 10, but I'm going for a 10 every time.
What keeps you on the road now, even with the new tour that's going out? Like, what keeps you on fire? What keeps you want to get in front of people when it's so easy to kind of like mail it in? And you're in a position where you're in competition with yourself. You know what I'm saying? But what keeps you to where you say, man, I need to get back out there. I need to get on the road.
The ticket sales. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm still in the same conversation, you know, that one conversation. Since I started stand-up, I'm still in that conversation. So every time they see me, I'm just picking up on that conversation that we last had, and now, you know, and it's just been an honor because I really, whether I'm the best comedian in the world is debatable. Like, I don't even make it on some list of top 25, but to the people that like me, there's nothing like me. And so I bear that in mind at all times, and I'm always trying to give them the best experience possible if they come out and see me. Or if I'm in a movie part that is only 14 lines, I'm just trying to figure out, how do I make this 14 lines resonate to somebody, you know? Because
I know very well.
I'm just thankful to have this as a job, you know?
Did you know when you came, because of course people come out to so-called Hollywood because it's the dream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you came out to Los Angeles,
yeah,
did you know that, because for one, we're here and it's hard to penetrate Hollywood anyway. When you say, if you give me a few lines, you're gonna make it your own.
Right.
And we've seen that with you time and time again, where you don't even have to be the star, Katt, but people will walk out and be like, man, he fucking killed that. When you leave home plate to come here, there's absolutely no turning back for you. Did you know that this was gonna happen for you?
Only the good parts. Yeah. I knew all the good parts were gonna happen. That's what faith is about. Like, I can remember being places and just being like, you have no idea who you just walked past, ma'am.
Oh, shit.
You know? Just because I believed, you know? And I had been in a lifelong conversation with God about this And in my dreams, I could see people clapping. I just didn't know what it was I was doing, you know? So I just wanted to find my purpose. And then, bam, I found stand-up. And then, so.
Let me tell you what's crazy about that, man, is with us growing up, it's my mom, well, rest in peace to my mom, and 7 kids, right?
Yeah.
And there was hardships, there was bouts of homelessness, stuff like that, right? And I remember we were living in a motel, and I told my mom, I said, Mom, I said, one day I'm gonna buy you a house so we'll never be evicted again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me, Kat, and she said, I know you will. She could have said anything like, you know, we got rent daily, please, Kurt, stop this. You know what I'm saying? It's real things going on.
Right.
But when she said, I know you will, it put something in me.
Yeah.
And I would tell my partners, my friends, I'd be like, man, I'm gonna be famous. I would literally sit down and write autographs. And it would be like, for some reason, I always said best wishes. So it'd be like to Katt Williams, best wishes. And it'd be Kurt, right?
Right.
And so from that point on, even when my friends told me, they said, man, if you make it, I would always say when. Like I knew that I was gonna make it. Then there's life shit that happens where, you know, you kind of, you know, lose a little bit, but your eyes are very focused. So I understand what you're talking about when you say somebody walk past you, you're like, you don't even know who you just walked past.
Right.
And as long as you believe it, then you know, and I know it sounds cheesy when people say, oh, you believe it, you can achieve it. But that's some of the realest shit in the world, bro. Like if you believe it, like you could really achieve it. And I feel like you were one that didn't sacrifice certain shit to get to where you are today.
No, but you do want to be in a position where they want you to. Mm-hmm. You see?
Right.
You want to be able to tell Diddy no. You see?
Right.
Piece of shit. That's the position you want to be in.
Right. In the room.
You want to get all the way as far as your jurisdiction will allow you to go to be like, so say again now.
What we doing? Nah. Hey, Kat,
right.
Do you think you make people nervous?
Not dumb people.
Mm.
I don't make. Yeah. I'm saying anybody that would be nervous around me, that's very specific. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying, make no mistake, I'm a predator.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're doing when you sit down? Now, I heard that you're only going to do probably 6 podcasts or 6 interviews. And then are you done with having these conversations, or was that?
No, this is it. This is it.
This one?
Yeah, this is the last one.
This is it?
Yeah.
And don't tell me this shit, then you pop up somewhere else and you're like, wait, hold on, no. This one's it. So this is it.
I meant for me and you.
Right. this our last one.
Right. This.
So,
yeah.
So this our last one. But you know what's crazy, dude, is that you're very peculiar. You know who you want to talk to. And that's why when it came up and it was like, oh man, Kat, bro, literally, I had a doctor's appointment today that I can't get back in until like March. A specialist flew out here. I was like, man, you got to fly that motherfucker back to the house because I need to sit down and have this conversation.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to think of something.
Right.
And
the reason why I ask you, man, are people afraid of you? Because you don't have the Hollywood strings that some people have. Like, you're not worried about losing such and such deal. You're not worried about losing a part. You're not, so you don't have the tie downs that some people have. How freeing is that and it's not about saying something, but knowing that you can say or do what you feel like you want to do from a guy that has a contract with iHeart.
I'm a public official. That just applies to me. And just means I try to stick as close to the center as I possibly can so that I can make the observations of the left and the right efficiently. that's what you said is what we just allow them to say so that they'll feel better and go back to work. There's nobody's contract that precludes them from telling the truth. Most of them are liars and bums, and that's why they behave as they do. I just make it clear that I'm free to, go past whatever the ramifications are afterwards, only because I believe that whatever it was that I said about you, no matter how harsh it was also the truth. Right. So you can spend time barking back at me or you can fix it. Don't be mad at the ref. I'm saying you traveled.
Right. Hey, man, when you did Club Shay Shay, we haven't talked since then, even before then or after.
Right.
When he said, "Come on, Katt," and he was like, "No, man, nobody's going to want to do my show." Do you remember what you told him?
I told him lots of people were.
You said they're all coming.
Right. Yeah.
And when you look at it, did you know when you sat down that was going to be one of the biggest viewed podcast YouTube episodes with 90+ million and counting?
I knew that I could make the most out of the opportunity, and that if I did it correctly, based upon the research that I had done on what makes the algorithm work, I had determined that you had to do this particular thing 17 times consecutively. And it will require every time the person watching went, "That's not true." Right. It would have to mean that they would pause it and then go check real quick and then come back. It required a lot, but it was written to do the maximum amount of damage possible. And then it was scaled back, and the knockout punches were taken out, just leaving the jabs, so that whoever I talked about, I didn't completely blow their spot up, but I did pull their coattail. Because when you think about it, like, they're not going to believe that you're the mafia don unless you go in the room, take out all 5 families at once, and walk out, and then walk around unscathed afterwards. Like, that's really the only way anybody would believe it. Otherwise, it'll just.
And so when we saw those were the jabs.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you know what's wild about that shit? I had like nothing with you. No beef, no nothing. I watched that motherfucker and I was like, shit. I'm sitting up here like, man, did he get in contact with my ex or what the fuck? Like, I think a lot of people, Katt, was on, and I go home to my wife, all kind of shit. But I'm like, everybody was watching that shit like, what's next? And the crazy shit about it too, Katt, I don't know if you didn't have a tour. You're always doing something, but there was no promotion. Like, even when I went to your social media, right? Usually when somebody break the internet or somebody got all these views, right, they got clips on their pages, they got some agenda, like, yeah, come check me out. Y'all didn't see nothing. Wait till you come and see such and such tour. I went to your page, Katt. It was nothing.
Yeah, I remember you telling Summer Walker.
Yeah, it was nothing. And you see, even with Summer Walker, I don't even remember that, right? That's why I told you hear everything. You know what I'm saying?
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Well, shit, you just brought back the Summer Walker shit, so that's not allegedly.
Right.
But yeah, it was like you were promoting nothing.
Those are the flexes that you can make if you're not bought and paid for. You can do stuff like that, you know? And it keeps it clear, you know? Because I thought it was necessary and that it would in time be beneficial as well. And thankfully, that's how it turned out. Yeah.
Did anybody catch a stray?
Say again?
Did anybody catch a stray bullet?
No, sir. No, there are no strays.
Anything that you said that you felt like, damn, that you regretted?
I often regretted taking the headshots out, but but again, this is probably 2 years later, we're still discussing it, and that as a predator, like that's the most you can ask for. Like, if we have an altercation and you
2 more minutes, y'all, and then I'm going to end this. It's really good, and I don't want to. 2 more minutes. I want to hear this final statement he wants to say. Child, he said he regretted taking the headshots. Okay. Straight like that.
walk different for the rest of your life, like that's something too, Like if you never recover, a long way. Yeah, we like that, right? Because on the righteous side of things, we are doing better at every turn. Like the cup is literally running over to where it's just a mess now. Like it's embarrassing. And meanwhile, they cannot prosper even in delusion. Like it's terrible out there for this group.
Why was that necessary?
As a world, we're in a more truth-loving space right now,
We're in a truth-loving space right now?
Mm-hmm.
How so?
People want to know the truth,
Okay,
no matter what we're
truth-loving.
talking
I got
about.
you.
Like
I got
no
you.
longer do they want to see the best actor or the best. They want the most authentic experience possible, to the point where people that are special needs and on the spectrum are just as famous as everybody else because you can trust them, like they're great people.
Do you look at anything on social?
All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and end it right there. I want to give a shout out to Big Boy TV. So if y'all want to watch this whole interview, which is about 1 hour and 2 minutes and 31 seconds, y'all can find it over on Big Boy TV. Please go check out his channel and his content. I know y'all know who he is. So go over there and watch that full interview, y'all. It'll give you life. Katt Williams. That's one of my favorite comedians. But we're going to go ahead and round this all up now, y'all. We're going to get up out of here. I do have a final bit of closing statement that I'm just going to make about this overall live. Some important things that I think we need to, pay attention to. So yeah, before I log off today, I want to leave you with some final thoughts on this Valentine's Day. We talk a lot about the world's darkness, but let's never forget that our greatest weapon in this world is love. I want to end by saluting the 2 voices that we studied today, whether it's the political world with Candace Owens or it's the entertainment world with Katt Williams. These individuals stand 10 toes down. They don't jump back. They don't fold. And they bring that confidence that we need to see more of. You have to remember, true love for our community means being responsible. If we call ourselves truth tellers, we have to come with the receipts. We must lead with evidence and verified facts, not just conspiracies that lead people into a fall. There are too many people leading the collectives astray. If we want to build a real stronghold, we have to get the facts right. I love you all. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and stay loving. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I will talk to y'all on the next one. Golden out. Bye.
They fear the truth, cause lies pay the rent. sleep. 10 toes down, I don't backtrack. Can't mute a voice when the facts clap. Truth tellers, stand up. We don't fold, we don't bend. From the streets to the suits to the fake rich friends. If it's dark, we expose it, do it over again. Facts, say it, run it. They build careers off silence and fear. Shake hands in public, plot in the rear. Paperwork clean, but the blood still fresh. Smile for the cameras, right in the flesh. They say play the game, I say name the crime. I don't wait my turn, I don't toe they line. Truth ain't safe, it don't come with guards. But I'd rather be real than protected by fraud. It blessed list names, bury the brave, then praise them later when it's socially safe. I'm talking right now, put it straight in your face. Every lie exposed is a crack in the case. Blow the whistle, hear the panic when it rings. Truth loud, no filter, no strings. I don't do permission for the things I sing. Truth tellers stand firm. Yeah, we built for the storm. If the lie make money, best believe we transform. Yeah. Red carpets hide dirty deals. Bright lights don't mean everything is healed. Ended days over trauma and pain. Gold chains heavier than the shame. They protect the brand, sacrifice souls. Call it the culture, but we know the code. If you speak too loud, they cut your lane. If you stay quiet, they let you gain. I ain't selling pain back to the youth. I ain't dressing lies up, calling it truth. I'd rather lose fame, lose access than win by silence while the wicked get passes. Boost the fake, suppress what's exposed. They love the trend, hate the truth. If it wake the people, they cut the view. Influence rented, morals for sale. Everybody woke to the sponsors bill. I don't chase likes, I don't chase fame. I drop facts even if they shadow my name. Can't cancel truth, can't flag what's real. Can't mute pain that the people feel. I post it raw, let it shake the room. Blow the whistle, let it echo boom. Blow the whistle, yeah, let it scream. Every fake empire crack at the seams. Yeah, truth pull us stand tall. Even solo, we win. History don't crown the quiet, it remembers them. Yeah, truth blow the whistle. Truth don't beg. Truth stand 10 toes. Blow the whistle anyway. You tuned into the right place. Welcome to the rain. Golden Queen. H2.0. Let's get it. You're looking for a diamond, found a treasure in the rough. Tired of all the noise, cause you finally had enough. I'm here to build a movement on a mission for the nation. Dropping gems of knowledge, killing all the hesitation. We fighting for the truth, yeah, we fighting for what's right. Building unity and shining up a brand new light. It's a variety channel, but the vision's crystal clear. Pushing us all forward, conquering the doubt and fear.
Yo, welcome to the Queendom. H2.0 on your screen, with the content's real and smart and funny in between. This is more than just a stream, it's a platform for the change. Time to elevate the game and rearrange. So if you're ready for a vibe that you can feel and trust, joining in the movement is a definite must. This ain't just another channel talking smack behind the screen. It's a spotlight for the creators, building up of the scene. Spreading radical love, that's the message in the code. Helping everybody carry up a heavy load. From social justice issues to the laughter that we need. Planting seeds of progress, watch them grow from just a seed. This is authentic, this is raw, this is everything you saw. Welcome to the battle that is truly being fought. Oh, so come with your respect and see the real effect. Cause I protect my own right here on the throne. Don't make me unleash the dragon. You've been warned.
Yeah, don't make me unleash the dragon. You've been warned. Yeah. Don't make me unleash the dragon, you've been warned. Yeah. Yeah. Golden Queen Age 2.0. The movement starts now. Go ahead. Hit subscribe, ring that notification bell. You don't want to miss a thing. Welcome to the family.